While every position on the floor plays an important role, there's nothing quite like watching an NBA point guard near the peak of his powers. A true floor general, a great point guard sets the table for his teammates on offense, finds his shot whenever he wants, and sets a tone on the defensive end at the point of attack. Arguably, no one has more sheer responsibility than a point guard, which is precisely what makes seeing a transcendent one at work so special. And when you find a point guard like that, it's obvious that his team will be terrifically organized and take after the play style of their leader. The difference with them on the floor and without them playing is night and day. In NBA history, there are a few truly exceptional point guards who stand out from the pack. They are the players with a trademark flair and fire that we'll never forget. They are forever imprinted into NBA lore despite, technically, often being the smallest players on the floor. Here is my ranking of the 11 greatest NBA points of all time. 11. Russell Westbrook. Teams: Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston Rockets, Washington Wizards, Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers. Accolades: MVP, 2017, 9-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA First Team, 2-time scoring champion, 3-time assists champion. At his best, Westbrook was a tornado of unmitigated fury, power, and explosiveness. Blink, and you might miss him taking a layup the full length of the court or driving through a vicious tomahawk dunk. His peak arrived during a 2017 MVP campaign, where he became one of only 2 players to average a triple-double, 37 points, 11.6 rebounds, 10.8 assists, over the course of an entire regular season. 10. Gary Payton. Teams: Seattle Supersonics, Milwaukee Bucks, Los Angeles Lakers, Boston Celtics, Miami Heat. Accolades: NBA champion, 2006, 9-time All-Star, 9-time All-Defensive First Team, 2-time All-NBA First Team, NBA Steals champion, 1996. Aptly nicknamed the Glove, Payton is arguably the greatest point-of-attack defender in league history. In his heyday, he was the anchor of a Seattle defense and team that preferred to play at a fast pace and expressly needed him to initiate everything. Payton was the starting point guard for 3 separate teams that went to the NBA Finals: 1996 Supersonics, 2004 Lakers, 2006 Heat, before eventually winning a title with Miami at the end of his career. 9. John Stockton. Teams: Utah Jazz. Accolades: 10-time All-Star, 9-time assists champion, 2-time assists champion, 2-time steals champion. The definition of a floor general, Stockton more than admirably served as the true fulcrum of the Jazz offense for 2 decades. He was one of the greatest passers ever and remains the all-time assists leader by nearly 4,000. Stockton fell just short of winning a championship with back-to-back losses in the 1997 and 1998 NBA Finals. 8. Steve Nash. Teams: Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers, Brooklyn Nets. Accolades: 2-time MVP, 2005-2006, 8-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA First Team, 5-time assists champion, 3-time assists champion. Undersized and perhaps less athletic than his peers, no one made the most of their smaller stature quite like Nash. The engine behind the 7 seconds or less Suns offense in the mid-aughts, Nash's processing and passing ability were impeccable. 2 60-plus win seasons with Phoenix featuring as a prime championship contender never happen without him. 7. Bob Cousy. Teams: Boston Celtics, Cincinnati Royals. Accolades: 6-time NBA champion, 1957, 1959-1963, MVP, 1957, 13-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA First Team, 8-time assists champion. The term floor general may have been invented by the original Cousy. The longtime Celtics mainstay was the first real NBA star who could attack a defense at all 3 levels and also create for his teammates. The Houdini of the hardwood was every bit the magician he portrayed on the court. 6. Isaiah Thomas. Teams: Detroit Pistons. Accolades: 2-time NBA champion, 1989-1990, NBA Finals MVP, 1990, 12-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA First Team, NBA Assists Champion, 1985. To this day, Zeke remains one of the few players who stood under 6'2" to be the best player on a championship team. A fierce competitor, Thomas combined his fire with an electric ability to finish the rim and a lights-out mid-range jumper. En route to their own run of glory, Thomas's Bad Boys Pistons notably humbled Michael Jordan's Chicago on 3 straight occasions before that team officially ascended to dynasty status. 5. Chris Paul. Teams: New Orleans Hornets, Los Angeles Clippers, Houston Rockets, Oklahoma City Thunder, Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors. Accolades: 12-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA First Team, 7-time All-Defensive First Team, Rookie of the Year, 2006, 5-time Assists Champion, 6-time Steals Champion. Chris Paul is a winner. Yes, I understand the irony of saying that about a person who has never won an NBA championship, but that is very hard to do unless all the cards perfectly fall into place. The Hornets were one of the best teams in the West with Paul. The Clippers never become Lob City without his steady playmaking. The Rockets almost upset the peak Steph Curry Kevin Durant Warriors with him. Plus, he's a terrific teacher. Paul acted as a fantastic elder steward for both Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in Oklahoma City and Devin Booker in Phoenix before they ascended to official stardom. Never has a nickname like Point God been so applicable. 4. Oscar Robertson. Teams: Cincinnati Royals, Milwaukee Bucks. Accolades: NBA Champion, 1971, MVP, 1971, 12-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA First Team, Rookie of the Year, 1961, 6-time Assists Champion. Robertson was a trailblazer of the highest order. In 1962, he was the first player to average a triple-double over the course of an entire season. He was a proficient scorer, passer, and rebounder who unfortunately spent most of his career on poor teams. The Big O finally won a title and an MVP once he teamed up with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There may not be a more well-rounded guard in NBA history. 3. Jerry West. Teams: Los Angeles Lakers. Accolades: NBA Champion, 1972, NBA Finals, MVP, 1969, 14-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA First Team, 4-time All-Defensive First Team, Scoring Champion, 1970, Assists Champion, 1972. West has a few notable calling cards. He was an all-star in every season of his career, which only 3 other players who have played at least 10 years have accomplished. He was also nicknamed the Logo, because you guessed it, his silhouette is the official NBA logo. If not for the dominance of the 1960s Celtics, West's hands would be littered with many championship rings. Even still, he was an incredible playmaker and shooter who did so much for those Lakers. 2. Steph Curry. Teams: Golden State Warriors. Accolades: 4-time NBA Champion, 2015, 2017, 2018, 2022, NBA Finals, MVP, 2022, 2-time MVP, 2015, 2016, 10-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA First Team, 2-time Scoring Champion, Steals Champion, 2016. Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, and it's not even close. The gap between Curry in first place with 3-pointers made and second place, 774, is bigger than the gap between second and 12th, 752. Curry is such a prolific shooter that he literally changed how NBA basketball is played and viewed. The 3-pointer is now a firm staple of any elite offense, with every player on a team's floor expected to make them at a decent clip. Children who follow the league now try to shoot like Curry, rather than expressly beat people off the dribble or work their mid-range. The legendary Warrior is one of the most influential NBA talismans ever, and he's still got fuel in the tank. 1. Magic Johnson. Teams: Los Angeles Lakers. Accolades: 5-time NBA Champion, 1980, 1982, 1985, 1987, 1988, 3-time NBA Finals, MVP, 1980, 1982, 1987, 3-time MVP, 1987, 1989, 1990, 12-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA First Team, 4-time Assists Champion, 2-time Steals Champion. Johnson was the centerpiece of one of the best and most important teams in NBA history. The Showtime Lakers played with a flair and energy driven by Johnson's aggressive and flashy play at point guard. He is arguably the greatest passer in league history, helped by his rare height at 6'9", and was the definition of a big-game player who rose to the occasion every time the Lakers had their backs against the wall. Few could match Johnson's unique package of playmaking, leadership, and impeccable charisma.